Toggle your hood anytime. It's not an action you do from a menu, it's just a button you can press during normal gameplay on the D-pad. Dive and explore underwater anytime. We already knew this, but it's nice to see footage. Dive anywhere may let them create new movement or stealth puzzles in level design. I can see that happening in those stealthy coves and caves Edward infiltrates without his weapons from the original game. There's a manual jump right here. Edward jumps before reaching the edge. Wall run into back eject follows it, and the eject has strong range. I like it. The delay between movement actions seems to have been significantly reduced in the following footage anytime you see longer parkour sequences. The overall pace of parkour feels faster and better than during the reveal, and I might even be seeing some brand new animations for object-to-object hops and jumps too. What do you think? There's a manual jump here used to skip a wall run. There are several seconds of an extended hop chain where the sped up parkour is even more clearly visible. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the improved apparent feel of movement, much more than I was during the reveal. It's one of very few things I found to take issue with in the first place, and now it's been addressed. It feels like this is a new, more recent build of the game, while the reveal may have used an older one. Hireable courtesan factions are present, which means social stealth is present. Benches return as hiding spots. Crowd landing is back. Hood toggle button being pressable in real-time gameplay adds a cute little layer of role-playing to this for those who want it. Note the stealth indicator at the top middle of the screen. In addition to the harder to see blend outlines around yourself, an extra indication you are currently blended can be great for some players. I'm hopeful blend fade time, or the grace period as we call it after leaving a blend group in walking state, is here, but the problem is the footage cuts off before we have a chance to see it, so that's questionable. Throw money drains from your own currency total, and it has an AoE circle when cast that shows you exactly who will be affected. This could be a powerful short-range distraction for putting vision cones and bodies where you want them, if you can get close enough safely to begin with. Observe is back from Macy Shadows, which I always found a very comfy mechanic. It promotes taking high ground and scouting from above, which is something an assassin should be finding mechanically valuable, so I have a lot of appreciation for this feature on a ludonarrative level. Eagle Vision still lets you see enemies through terrain, and when it fades, those you've tagged will retain their overhead arrows, showing you direction but not distance. Helps keep track of people in a fast-paced stealth game like Black Flag, and if you want to glance at how close or far they are, you can briefly tap Eagle Vision again. What else can you do with high ground? Blowpipe is back, as are both dart types. Sleep darting a gunner has always been a classically strong action. Berserk darts activate much faster than previous games. This enemy does its converting animation extremely quickly after being stuck with a needle. Keeps the pace snappy and balances berserks to be more strict to use as a free approach tool on an isolated enemy. That's probably fair, since we already have sleep darts for that, and they don't want too much overlap between these ammo types. I suspect berserking special units like brutes will have more value in Resynced than the original, since combat has been sharpened and enemies are more dangerous. That hopefully makes them more dangerous to each other, not just you. Manual crouching returns, and it noticeably reduces visibility, especially at night. Intrigued by what this can mean for restricted areas without many social stealth opportunities present, since we can take greedier stealth approaches and get closer to guards looking in our direction without taking a full detect by using this. Rope Dart is back, and we get it way earlier in this game than the original. Instead of getting it near the end, in Resynced we get it about a quarter through the main story, which means we get to play with this tool for much more of Edward's journey. The devs know we have it for more of the game, and can account for that in level design too, which is somewhat exciting. If you destabilize an enemy through a counter, you kill them instantly with a takedown, and then continue that chain to more enemies. The number of enemies you can chain to is limited by your equipped weapon, which is fantastic decision making and gameplay texture on an element of play that was previously borderline thoughtless. Now I have to decide who I'm chaining to deliberately, because I know my chain isn't infinite before I have to create a new one by re-engaging with the core combat. I think this type of thing is called game design, and we're all very big fans of it. Very cool. Gun Kata is back, based on the number of pistols you're currently carrying. What is there to even say here? It's a sick feature that's unique to Edward. No other assassin in the series does this. You get a massive burst of damage output for a big time cost, having to reload all your guns in the aftermath, and it looks stylish as fuck. This brute would be annoying to chip down if attacked in a more honest manner, but if you have a gunshot available, quickshot him to knock his hat off. Hatless enemies are vulnerable to a hidden blade, bypassing all the rest of the health he might have. Because of how takedowns chain, once you've done one, that can go to several more, so fighting dirty and killing enemies as swiftly as possible is the way this game wants you to engage combat. The rope dart no longer consumes ammo, it briefly goes on cooldown when pressed in combat. Pull an enemy towards you to dictate the pace of fights, being active instead of reactive, pressing your buttons aggressively so you control what enemies are doing instead of worriedly letting them control you. This repositions the foe, but then Edward does a sweep while he's still stumbling, which puts him on the ground. And guess what? An enemy on the ground is instant killable. So Resynced really wants you finding ways to bypass enemy health bars entirely. You're not fighting to deal damage, you're fighting to access kill states and finishers. This is not the kind of game where we care about the exact stats on equipment. This is the kind of game where an average player might fight a big group for 30 seconds, but a good player will kill everyone there in 5 or 6.